I'm meteorologist Monica Woods covering all of northern and central California heading into the middle of our week here. Regional headlines for the coast. We have super weather getting ready for the big game. Patriots versus Seattle Seahawks taking on this weekend's big game. As far as our valley forecast, fog, then sunshine, hazy sunshine for the foothills. Still warm and dry for this year, but we're going to turn things around in our long range forecast. And it's a good thing, too. Heading into the second wettest month of the year, we really need to start to turn things around. We've been stuck in this dry pattern across much of California, but things show some improvement by the middle and end of February. Here's a look at the rundown for our water year so far, which, by the way, begins on October 1st. We really had a great start here. We got well above average heading into December. We hit another dry stretch, and then things picked up in late December through early January, which once again put us into the positive territory. But now things are starting to quickly head to the other side, with some cities reporting deficits in our water year so far. Again, for the middle of the week, there's not too many short-term changes. We'll still see areas of fog for the Central Valley that erodes pretty quickly in the mid-morning hours, and that leaves us with ample sunshine. By the time we dig into our longer range forecast, that's when we really start to see things more akin to what we're used to in winter. Likely cooler throughout much of California and likely wetter as well. This really doesn't start to take shape until we get to the end of our weekend. We'll likely make it through the weekend with dry weather. It's not until overnight Sunday into Monday that we'll start to see a turn to wetter weather. Highs in the 50s for our Tuesday outlook for this year, with 60s, almost 70 throughout the foothills. Traveling into the Central Sierra, highs are going to be in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Central Valley, again, morning fog, afternoon sunshine, and we'll make it into the 60s. Central Coast, it's a toasty one. We're seeing some lower 80s start to pop up in parts of the Central Coast, especially by Morro Bay, San Luis Obispo, Paso Robles at 74, Soledad at 78. We get into the 70s as we start to edge closer to the Bay Area. Santa Cruz up to 71. We're in the 60s as we head into the Central Valley. Bay Area forecast also showcasing some upper 60s to right around the low 70s. Pacifica 71 degrees for our Tuesday forecast. Big place for surfing there. As we head inland, wine country up to the low 70s. For Napa, a high of 72 degrees. Along the northwest coast, also under this ridge of high pressure, highs in the 60s and low 70s. And we see that in the north end of the valley. We travel into the capital region, a little bit shy of those 70s, seeing them widespread, but we're certainly starting to approach temperatures that are roughly about 5 to almost 10 degrees above average in the mid to upper 60s. And we continue with that trend at least through the end of the work week, starting to see some subtle changes by the time we enter into the beginning of the weekend, but bigger changes unfolding by the time we get into next week. Look at that for the Bay Area. Again, welcoming all the folks that are visiting for the big game. Highs will be in the 60s and low 70s. No rain out there. Should be lovely weather. Our extended forecast for the valley. This is where we start to pop in some of those raindrops by the end of Sunday into the beginning of next week. Certainly a welcome change after this dry stretch. Cooler weather as well heading into next week. But in the meantime, it is warm and dry out there.